Hi, my name is Paige Greenway, and I'm an independent ambassador with Plexus Worldwide. And I want to share a little bit of my story with you today, but I want to go ahead and make the disclaimer up front that Plexus does not claim to cure or prevent any disease whatsoever, but this is just my story, and there are so many that I've heard that are so similar and that are life-changing. So I started Plexus products back in probably June of 2015. I saw a friend posting about how it could, working on your gut through these Plexus products could help improve your milk supply. And so that was really intriguing to me as I had a newborn baby boy, and I had really struggled to produce enough milk to nurse as long as I wanted to nurse the first time around. I also had a 2-year-old at home, and I was not able to nurse as long as I really wanted to when he was first born. So I started speaking with my friend because I was super skeptical. I was very wary of supplements, and let me explain a little bit about that. So backing up, my husband and I struggled with fertility for years. We had lots of treatments that did not end up working. We had sunk a whole lot of time and effort and money and grief into those years, and the issue was, for the most part, that I had PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, and my hormones were out of whack. I did not ovulate on my own, and I would go months and months and months, at times even a year, without having a cycle. And so that really created some issues for us. We ended up having 4 miscarriages over the course of several years, and God brought us 2 sweet little miracle boys. Both times we had given up all treatments and just said, okay, we're gonna wait and trust you, God, and here came these precious babies. So this was after baby number 2 when I started the products. I was, of course, exhausted. I was not sleeping well when I was able to sleep. I know that sleep with a newborn is hard to come by anyway, but I had always been a chronic struggler with insomnia, just bouts of insomnia that could last for weeks, months at a time, and that was miserable. I had really struggled with depression and even a few bouts of anxiety over the years, and had to be on medication for those. And so lots of issues, but none of these even entered my brain when I started Plexus. It was all for my milk. So I started the products, and it did improve my supply in quantity and quality. But then all of these other things that I was mentioning started to improve as well. My sleep, my energy levels, my cravings were really changing. I was actually losing that baby weight that was hanging on this time around, that had just fallen off the first time when I was in my 20s. I could just nurse and lose the weight, and that wasn't happening the second time around. And so that started happening after I introduced Plexus. My allergies were getting better. All of these things were really impressive to me and really surprising to me, and kind of confusing because I didn't understand how these gut health products were all working together to do these things. And only with my research that came later did I find that it all goes back to our gut, and it all goes back to balancing our blood sugar. And that's what the Triplex Combo, which is what I started out on, those were the areas that these 3 products, the Slim, the BioCleanse, and the Probio5, were all addressing: my gut and my blood sugar. Okay, and so I want to take you back to what I was talking about before with our fertility issues and the issues with my cycle. So I nursed for over twice as long as I had nursed my first baby, and chose to stop when I was ready to stop, not because I had to. And I was really kind of nervous though, because I knew that it was likely that my cycle would go back to being totally wonky if it came back at all, okay? And I knew I was probably gonna develop cysts on my ovaries again. I was probably gonna have to get back on my medication, metformin. That's what they give to diabetic patients to balance their blood sugar, but they give that to PCOS patients a lot of the time as well, because it's all tied to blood sugar. Hormone regulation, blood sugar, gut health. But I didn't know. I just took the medicine because I was hoping maybe it could help me get pregnant over the years, and it didn't. But it just made me feel terrible. If anybody's ever taken that medication, you know. So I was kind of anxious about stopping nursing, and I was anxious about what was going to happen to my cycle. Was I going to have to go back on birth control, which I'd been on for years, over a decade and a half, in order to protect my ovaries, and I hated how it made me feel. I didn't like it. And so I was just really praying, Lord, could this be an answer to our prayers? Could my body balance itself out? Y'all, I stopped nursing. It was, I want to say it was December 5th. This day stuck out in my brain. And 2 weeks later, I started my cycle, okay? Which I was shocked by, that it was that soon. And then it has come every 28 days since then. I have an app on my phone that tracks it. And when I just look at the dates on this app of every 28 days, and it'll say the number of days in between my cycle. I mean, I know this sounds insane, but I weep tears of joy over this, okay? This is something that caused so much grief and heartache and pain for so many years in our lives because it was so unpredictable and I wasn't ovulating and all of these things. And now my body is doing what God designed it to do. I'm ovulating every month. I have a cycle every single month. Things have balanced out. There are no cysts on my ovaries. All of these things that medication was not able to do. And these plant-based products that heal and that really treat the root issues instead of just masking the symptoms, that is what I needed. And that's what I found in the Triplex Combo, and that's what I found in Plexus. And that's what made me so passionate about having to share these products. This is what I say all the time, kind of jokingly, but that's what turned me into the crazy Plexus lady. If somebody else does not have to go through what we went through because there's a better way, then I have to share that. So I hope that this was helpful for you today and that you might give this a shot. It could absolutely do the same thing for you.